is Thursday in London, and this is the first day it's actually rained, but it's like, it's really raining. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go walk to a gluten-free bakery. It's like 20 minutes away, whatever. Put on my rain jacket, started walking. Within 7 minutes, I'm like, I'm so wet. I don't want to do this. I was gonna go to Cambridge tomorrow, but the weather of London today is making me feel like maybe I should just go to Cambridge today. It's only an hour train ride, so it's like not bad at all. It's so easy. So I think I'm gonna get tickets for that and go there because if I'm correct, if I remember correctly, it's not raining there. Or it doesn't appear that it's raining. No, it just looks windy. See, that's no rain, just a lot of wind. And my main reason for going to Cambridge, other than the fact that is so loud, other than the fact that I just like really, really love Cambridge and would love to walk my old haunts. I'm gonna close the door. Main reason I want to go, other than just like being able to see Cambridge because I love Cambridge, is that there is a Lucy and Yak store in Cambridge, and I have been obsessed with Lucy and Yak for years, like probably since high school. Like it's been a very long time, but it's really hard to get a good fit on overalls. And their thing is they do these beautiful, like funky, colorful overalls and like boiler suits and that kind of vibe. But that's a really hard thing to size without actually trying it on your body. So I've never ordered it because between shipping and then if it was wrong, having to send it back, that just was going to take way too much. But I'm in the area. So I think I'm going to bop over to Cambridge because that's really the only thing I want to do in Cambridge is I want to go do that. And I just want to generally see my favorite place in the world. So it is about to be 11 o'clock in the morning. I think I can probably get one for like 12:30. That would be good. And then we'll go from there. So we're walking to the train station now. I gotta go pick up my tickets. I got physical tickets because, well, I need something to put in my journal. And up until this point, all of my tickets have been in my phone. So gotta change it up so that I have something to put in my journal. The lighting here is really pretty, this overcast lighting. Look at these flowers, how pretty. Overall, solo traveling has been fun. I've enjoyed being by myself and just kind of seeing what happens. And if I don't want to do something, I don't have to do it. Some of that is stressful because I feel like I'm always headed to places instead of like landing in places since I don't have any real plans. And I also think I just generally thought that I'd be more chill than I ended up being as a person. Because I was like, oh yeah, I'll go to like coffee shops and work I'll work on building my website, all that jazz. And that's just absolutely not happening. I've barely opened up my computer. Downside is the fact that I have been in like physical pain pretty much since day 1.5. My hips are so mad at me, which is so frustrating, but also probably my own fault. It is what it is. I'm still having a good time, but definitely puts a slight damper on everything when you're in pain the whole time. We've made it to King's Cross, and I now need to figure out where I get my tickets printed. I don't remember. We made it to the station, figured out where my train was. I ended up asking an employee, because I couldn't make heads nor tails of where I needed to go confidently. He was very helpful. He pointed me in the right direction, and he was like, "Are you a YouTuber?" And I was like, "Not yet, but I'm trying." He's like, "Because you're wearing a mic, so I thought I'd ask." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm trying, but I can't film until I know for sure where I'm going." And I do know.
International.
We made it. When it comes to like London trains and whatnot, it kind of feels like talking on them is basically a sin. Which is good. I have a mic out because you wouldn't be able to hear me otherwise. Which I can respect, but it is just so funny, and I get why Americans are so jarring when they're in the UK, because we just are loud all the time, generally speaking. Just our tone in general. I literally, trying to get on the train to Paris, I went through security, and the guy kept asking me a question. He was behind a barrier, and I was like, "Bro, I can't hear you. It has nothing to do with your accent. It's literally, I cannot hear you." And he just didn't speak up. And finally, he gave up and just laughed at me. And I was like, "Okay, it's fine." Like, just generally, their speaking voices are lower. It's just so funny. But we made it on our train, and it's the right train. And I'm going to ride it until the end of the line. Ooh, we're back outside. We've made it to Cambridge. It is a wee bit windy, but it's not raining, so we can work with that. Right now I'm doing the walk from the train station down to the city center, which just brings back so many memories from whenever I lived here. And just every day before we get ready to go on like our next excursion, we all would walk to the train when we weren't taking Andy's bus. And it's just so delightful to be back. It just makes me so happy. Walking the street that I used to walk every day, we've got Chinese takeout. We used to come and get this at like midnight, which is just so much fun. And all the time I think about the fact that like, you don't really get that in suburban US. Like, you don't have a hole-in-the-wall Chinese restaurant that literally all you can do is walk in and order, and there's like one bench and that's it. That's open till 2 a.m. That's just like, you only get that in a big city, or in a city like this. You don't really get that in Cleveland, Tennessee, and I miss it. Like, that was just the most fun. I'm walking down the direction towards the place where I stayed when I lived here. We lived out of a hotel. Lee had a partnership with a hotel here, and we just book out rooms for like the whole time we were here. We'd be here for like a week, and then we travel for a week, and then we'd be here for a week, and we travel for a week, and we just always come back here. It's not run by the same people anymore, so I don't think Lee has a partnership with it, but I still, anytime I'm back, I try and walk by and just like remember when I was a little baby 20-year-old living my best life in the UK with my friends. I love being an adult. I love getting older, but I do miss that era of my life specifically, because it was just so fun. And I'm just so thankful that I got to do it. Like, that's such a blessing. And the timing was perfect, because I just got out of a relationship, I was in a rough spot, and fleeing the country was quite literally the best thing I could have done. But I'm just so happy being back here. Like, just to be here just makes me so happy and fills me with so much joy. You see this? See this smile? I'm just so happy.
My favorite thing about being back in Cambridge is the fact that all of the muscle memory for the directions just reappear in my brain. Because I like actually lived here, it wasn't just a place I spent like, ooh, I spent a couple days. Like, I was here for weeks at a time for a whole semester. I legitimately do remember this place. Like, I don't need a GPS when I get here because I've walked all of this. Like, it just, muscle memory sets back in, and it just fills me with so much joy to be back because it just feels like home, because it was home for a bit. And so it's very exciting to actually be back and be able to just feel that. And it's so pretty. This is the best thing I could have done today because I was feeling kind of like aimless and stressed. But now I just feel so relaxed and so happy. I'm so happy to be here, my favorite place on earth. Obviously, our first stop is a bookstore. I spent hours in this bookstore when I lived here. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I was going to say I love your trousers.
Thank you, I made them.
Oh.
Very fun.
So good.
Thank you. I came all the way from Tennessee specifically for this, so I'm very excited. I've watched Lucy and Yak like for years,
Yeah.
but the sizing was always a thing. I wanted to try it on for real, so I was really excited that y'all had one in Cambridge this time. Yeah.
Well, spend as long as you need trying stuff on.
I'm obsessed with this. Okay, we're in the dressing room. I have a couple of options that we're gonna try on, just get some sizing, and then once I kind of have an idea of which sizing might work, then I'll go out there and ask for specifics from them. I'm so excited. Yeah, I think I like how fall these are. Like, these are perfect. I will be getting them. But I'm like really tempted by this fall pattern. I'm not gonna lie. So we have left Lucy and Yak with our purchases. I ended up getting two because I was like, I'm not coming back. I'm a little bit worried to see what I've spent on this trip. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just kind of have been living my best life, and that will probably come back to bite me whenever I get back and realize that I definitely quit my job before I left. It's fine. That is tomorrow's problem, not today's problem. Today, I have really, really cute overalls, and I'm gonna be adorable, so it's fine. It is so pretty out here. Like, look at this. Sitting at Trinity College. I used to walk through here every day. It's just so pretty, and it's overcast, and it feels like fall, and I'm in a part where like no one's walking, and because it's kind of yucky out, there's not really any tourists. There's not as many tourists as there usually are, and it's September. I don't know. Tomorrow's my last day, And I think I'm starting to remember that I put in my resignation right before I left. And all of the stress and all the things, it's like, oh, you have so much to do when you get back, is starting to hit me right now because I'm nearing the end of my trip. I can just kind of feel it. I can feel I'm tired. So I'm going to sit here for a little bit longer. I just read a little bit, and then I'm probably going to go walk back through the market, grab some food, and then I'll go catch whichever train comes next and head back. As far as solo traveling goes, overall, I like it. I like being by myself. I like my own company. Um, I will say some of it is like you literally are in charge of everything. And I think that there were times when I didn't feel like I was as comfortable as I would be if there were other people as like buffers. I think I was not really uncomfortable, but I was very aware of myself and kept wondering if I was being annoying or if I looked like a tourist. And so you could tell that I just wasn't fully in my body for portions of it simply. And I think like whenever I'm traveling with my mom or my niece, because there's a couple other people to like kind of pay attention to you, I felt like I could pay a little bit less attention. And when you're by yourself, I feel like you need to pay a bit more attention. So there was some of that to work out. And I came into this with like no plan. And I will say having no plan made it so that I almost felt like I was always going but never arriving, especially whenever I was in Paris. But overall, I had fun. I ended up using Hinge on this trip, which was fun. I went out with a guy twice. He was a very good time. And it's nice because I probably wouldn't have done something at later in the evening if somebody else wasn't doing it with me. And so I just had a good time, got to know each other. It was great, like nothing crazy. But it was just like fun. And that's something I wouldn't have done if I was traveling with other people. It's been fun. I will say, I feel like I've been here for years versus like 6 days, 5 days. I've done a lot in this amount of time. But, oh, jeez. I am enjoying myself. I just would love to live here again. I'm not going to lie to you. It's just so pretty. Just don't know how to get back here living wise. But I would love to.